sports fans, Coach Nick here, and I have Kiki Vandeweghe with me to talk a little bit about the value of the system of offense and defense in an NBA team. So, Kiki, we talked about this for a second, but what do you think is that a value that's overlooked in the NBA generally, as far as having a coach that has a system that they run that they can plug players into?
Well, I think if you look at the successful franchises over the years, they all have a system that they run. They have a philosophy that they have identified, and they stay with it. You look at the success of, let's say, Utah Jazz. Maybe they never won a championship, but they were a 50-game winner every single year. They had a coach by the name of Jerry Sloan, who was there for years and years and years, and always enjoyed great success. So, sometimes, chasing the dream of a championship may not prove out if you are changing constantly to get there. So, having the same coach, the same system, identifying players that fit into that system that are going to augment what you're doing, I think is all a benefit.
Let me ask you this. Is there a notion that you have to identify the player that fits the system first, or is it a kind of thing where you feel like you can bring the player in, work with them, have them improve, and actually have them fit in after the fact that you've gotten them?
Well, I think that skill sets are important. So, you've got to have players that can do things that impact an NBA game, whatever that might be, whether it's shooting, rebounding, passing, dribbling, doesn't matter. And I think that you can make them fit into a system, but I think you also have to identify if you have, for example, you have a running system, and let's say you're the Denver Nuggets of today, you may not want to get a player who plods up and down the court and who can only post up. So you might want to get a player who has speed, but can possibly give you some post up also. So I think you have to take a look at the players, identify what's important to your system, and then go out and get players with skills that impact the way the game's played today.
So what is your take? Can NBA players improve after their first couple of years in the league?
Oh, NBA players absolutely can improve. They can improve all the way through. They can be very adaptive. I mean, I think the greatest example of that is Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd started out as a triple-double machine. I mean, and eventually has now evolved his last couple years into a three-point threat, where he doesn't, play a typical point guard role, but he impacts the game by being able to shoot three-pointers, by his knowledge, by his leadership ability. And so players can evolve, just like anybody else can, but certainly after the first couple of years, a player understands his role. If he's smart, he understands his role in the NBA and what is going to get him, if you will, what's going to get him paid.
You're not going to use yourself as an example of a guy who can improve after he begins his career in the NBA?
Well, that's a long time ago, but I guess what you can say is that it doesn't hurt to be in a gym, and if you spend your time trying to improve your whatever ability you have, whether it's shooting ability, passing, playing, knowledge of the game, even athletic ability, taking running lessons, for example, players can improve in all things.
What offensive system, lastly, would you think you would want to play in? What was your dream offensive system to play in?
I think that they all work. What I liked is having a little bit of freedom. So I did like personally playing in Doug Moe's system, which is more of a passing game system. I think that currently the Nuggets play that way. The Rockets certainly play that way. They more free flowing. Players use their sort of innate ability to dissect what a defense is going to do or what an offense is going to do, and then adjust accordingly. So, to me, I think players with knowledge of the game and understanding of the game, they like a bit more freedom.
Well, Kiki, thank you for coming on. NBA great general manager, Pete Newell disciple, and someone we literally look up to. Thanks, Kiki. Appreciate you coming on.
All right, thank you.